Hi there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you had an opportunity to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. When I say roadblocks, what do you think about? No, I'm not talking about the video game, and I'm not talking about the roadblock when you're driving down the street and there's construction. I'm talking about roadblocks in your life. They all manifest in different shapes, sizes, and forms. But similar to that roadblock when you are on the road with construction, what do? You take a detour. You take a different route. You go around it. And it's the same thing when you hit a roadblock in your life. You have to find a way to go around it, go over it, or go through it, whatever it may look like. So some examples of roadblocks in our life, obviously, health, money, family or spouses or partners, unexpected things such as COVID-19, or yourself. Yes, you too can be your own roadblock. So let's look at this. You have a plan in place. All of a sudden, you've set aside some money to make sure that you can accomplish that dream and goal you're headed towards, and something happens and you have to spend that money on something in an emergency situation. Boom, you stopped. You stepped dead in your path. What do? Of course, in that situation, you deal with the emergency. But how do you get back on track? Obviously, you may not be able to acquire that money as quickly as possible as you'd hope. So you may have to take a little bit of a detour. What else can you do on your plan in that moment? Sometimes you can detour and you can do something else in the meantime. Other times you just have to pause for a minute and reevaluate what's important. So putting into place how you can make some extra money to come back to that task. Let's talk about if there's somebody in your family. You're on that path towards your goal, and all of a sudden your spouse falls ill or loses their job. You may have had a plan to do something and spend full time on that plan, but now you have to shift and adjust to take care of your spouse. What if all of a sudden COVID hits and your plan, I'll use my example. I had a plan to do a book tour this year. I was so proud of myself last year publishing a book. I had lined up so many different events to go and sell my book. I was so excited about the whole initiative. Then COVID hits. Every event was canceled. What do? I shifted. I tried some events online to sell my books. Not as effective. It doesn't mean I'm not going to sell my books, because of course I will. I tried doing different formats, different ways of advertising. But I realized that this was the time for me to embrace the change for the moment. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to go back to it as soon as COVID has found our new normal and I'm able to do those events again. But for right now, I've shifted and focused on starting a business. So there's so many ways that our life, we have different paths to take. It doesn't always have to be so set in the way. Many of us have different areas of our lives going on at all times. And having the ability to adjust and shift on the drop of a dime is really important. So back to COVID. Think about all the kids that were in school scheduled to graduate this year. Feels like last year. And their graduation ceremonies had to be stopped or postponed or changed. What did they do? They got creative, they thought outside the box, and they started to come up with ideas of way that they could still graduate with their classmates virtually or in a different setting where they socialize distanced. In order to adjust and pivot when you're faced with a roadblock, you have to have an open mind. You have to be able to think outside of the box and be creative. What happens though when a roadblock just blocks you completely? Let's say it's health. You're on this path to achieve something. You're already close to your goal. and all of a sudden you've been hit with illness, whether it's COVID-19 or something more serious, and you've now been put into bed or into the hospital for a long period of time. Obviously, your health is way more important than any other goal. And again, it's just that pivot and shift of mindset to focus and readjust. Roadblocks are going to pop up, and they can be people, they can be items, they can be experiences. There's so many things, and usually these roadblocks or blocks are not on our schedule. It may cause us to have to shift the timeline of our initial plan, but it also teaches us a lot about ourselves and how resilient we are and how we can think on the spot and learn to adjust quickly. There is no roadblock that will stop us from doing anything except for ourselves. And what I mean about that is when we're faced with different situations where we've hit a roadblock, we can stop ourselves just from being so overwhelmed by that roadblock and not being able to see past it. This is when you need to take a moment, take a step back, and reevaluate the situation. Everybody hears this saying that things happen for a reason. Sometimes the roadblock is put in your way for a reason, whether it's for you to reevaluate and look at things in a different light, or possibly it just means it's not the right time for you to finish that goal. Doesn't mean it makes you stop completely, because that is up to you. If you're determined and you're persistent, you will see that goal through no matter what roadblock jumps in front of you. Being mindful of the roadblocks and learning from each roadblock will help you grow as an individual. It's also important to help support the people around you that keep running into those roadblocks. If you notice one of those people that you love and adore are becoming that roadblock, reevaluate the situation and see how important are they to be part of your life. Because sometimes people get in your way because of jealousy or possibly because they don't want to see you to succeed. So question that, wonder why, and again, be willing to shift and adjust. Only you have control of your journey, and only you can make the detours. You've got the map in your hand. The map is to your life and to your journey. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to let those roadblocks stop you? Or are you going to continue and enjoy every minute of the journey? Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share. And until then, I'll see you later. Bye.